Today, on 9 September 2020, we are gathered together to inaugurate the first ever student chapter of WiCyS in India here at VIT Bhopal. And we are honored to have with us Dr. Vitaly Ford, Ms. Genie Gan, and Ms. Satyavathi Divadari as our guests.
I now request the Honorable Dean of the School of Computer Science and Engineering, Dr. Manas Kumar Mishra, sir, to please start the event with his welcome speech.
Thank you, Arusi. Good morning, all. I, on behalf of the School of Computing Science and Engineering, and on my own behalf, extend a hearty and warm welcome to all of you. To say that we are thrilled to see you is an understatement, particularly amid this devastating pandemic. Among all the distress, one good thing this pandemic has been able to push, and push it really hard, is a pragmatic shift of workplaces to go digital. The digital world empowered us to overcome the barriers of corona, of unreachability and isolation. However, as we move more towards being cyber connected, the security of such communication and transactions became more susceptible to attacks. And hence we need more awareness about guarded usage models as well as solutions to protect our cyberspace and privacy. I quote a mantra from Yajurveda, and it says, Savishnayu, Vishwakarma, Vishwadheya, Indrashyatvam, Bhagam, Somanathan Jasmi, Vishnu Havyam Raksha. The means that she, the lady, is the life of the all universe. She is the creator, is Vishwakarma. She is one who holds all as the mother, Vishwadheya. She is the part of the one who has controlled senses, as the Indra, and the one who is full of life, Soma. The one who could brought up properly, that is the Vishnu. So we all must protect her, as is the solution, the medication. Since time immemorial, for solution, we have always looked to the woman. In Indian mythology, we have got deities for knowledge, Saraswati, we have got goddess of wealth, Lakshmi, goddess of power, Ma Durga. So it's all solutions we look to the woman. And for the current world facing problems in cybersecurity, WiCyS plays a kind of similar role. WiCyS is a community of engagement, encouragement, and support for women in cybersecurity. We're extremely delighted to be a part of it. And I once again welcome you to this inauguration of WiCyS Student Chapter at VIT Bhopal. To do the honors, we are privileged to have the gracious presence of Dr. P. Gunashekar, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of VIT Bhopal University. Ms. Satyavathi Divadari is a Chief Cybersecurity Architect at Focus-Bangalore in India. Ms. Genie Gan is the Head of Public Affairs and Government Relations, Kaspersky at Singapore, and Dr. Vitaly Ford, Director of Chapter Development, WiCyS, US, as well as Dr. Shishir Kumar Shandelia, the Division Head for Cybersecurity and Forensic Division at VIT Bhopal University. I also extend my welcome to distinguished faculty colleagues. I welcome you all to this event and thank you for finding your time from your busy schedule to be here with us today. I thank the management for all the support and all the students for their hard work in shaping this event during this pandemic. May God bless all of us and we stay happy and healthy during this pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you for your words, Dr. Manas. Now we would like to call upon Dr. Vitaly Ford, the Student Chapter Coordinator for WiCyS and an Assistant Professor at Arcadia University. Dr. Ford has received multiple grants from NSA and NSF for his Gen Cyber Coin project and New Campus Science and Education Network project. His passion for cybersecurity has led him to becoming the Student Chapter Coordinator for WiCyS. Sir is here to tell us more about WiCyS and its goals. I now hand over the proceedings to Dr. Ford.
Thank you very much for a kind introduction. It's definitely a pleasure to join the first Indian chapter As you probably know, we have most of our chapters are only in the United States. We do have a few chapters in Canada, and now we cross the ocean border to cover the other side of the land. I'm actually originally from Russia, so I'm technically Asian. I was born in the Asian part, so right above you guys, in a very cold place. So WiCyS started 6 years ago by my former PhD advisor, Dr. Ambreen Siraj, and that's how I also got involved into with this organization. It originally started as an NSF grant from the National Science Foundation, so sponsored by the USA government. And the idea was to promote, retain, and recruit women in cybersecurity area. At that point, the global coverage of women probably in cybersecurity area would be only 8% or so, very low. Right now it's 20%, a little bit above. So it's going up. And this conference specifically started 6 years ago. It continued on, and last year we had to cancel it. It's going to happen again in March. So throughout the year, we have lots of activities, and it all culminates in this conference that varies in size. It actually started with 350 people, and now we have about 1,600 people, and half of those are students. So we're trying to keep 50% of people attending the conference to be students, and the other 50% would be from academia and industry. We have lots of industry partners, lots of sponsors who are supporting women in cybersecurity. And as a result, we can do things like virtual career fair, which is actually happening tomorrow, our United States time. So in your case, it's still tomorrow, but on the 10th of September. And in this, to participate in this virtual career fair, students would need to become official WiCyS members. And that's pretty much all they need to do. Then they will go to this link, they would upload their resume, and they would be able to connect to many companies. And list just goes on and on, but there are lots of supporting companies, as you can see from this list: Cisco, Facebook, Palo Alto, Google, AWS, Cisco, again, lots of Oak Ridge, San Diego, Verizon, IBM, Lockheed Martin. And this is just a small list of strategic partners as well as founding partners. The total number of sponsors is just enormous. Lots of companies support this organization. And interesting part about the virtual career fair, it's going to happen over just a few hours, and students will be able to engage with recruiters from all those big companies in the United States virtually. That means that you can be technically in India to participate in this event. Also, for the conference attendance, typically students are covered registration fees as well as lodging fees and food, so it's lunch and dinner. So technically speaking, transportation is the only thing that is not covered by the sponsors of this conference. The student chapters have been grown from 0 to over 100 at this point over the years. And currently we have monthly webinar meetings that are running at 7 p.m. Central Time. So it's actually quite early in the morning on your time. But we do record those webinars, we send it out, lots of information being shared through them. Also typically communicate with the chapter leaders and send out some important information related to maybe resources, activities that are running, interview preparation. We're trying to run right now a mentor and mentee program that would allow you to connect with the industry professionals and get mentored and potentially get jobs and internships. So all those opportunities are coming up. On the member portal, as you can see, there are lots of places to check out. You can see the membership benefits list that typically we share with students. There are lots of things going on, lots of training opportunities. Recently, we just finished a very long AWS training opportunity from the Amazon company, Amazon Web Services. Under your profile, you could connect with people. There are thousands of people right now on this platform. Lots of connections, lots of groups that you can discover People can create their personal private groups and share information. You can look up members here by the member directory and find somebody who is in a specific city, maybe interested in looking up for internships and jobs in that city. So you can look those people up on that platform. So all in all, this organization has been growing and growing exponentially. I wouldn't say it's linear, even though the conference numbers are linear. But the numbers that are virtual, right now we're at about 5,000 or 6,000 of people on the virtual community, starting from 0 6 years ago. So it's a huge, huge community of women who support each other. We have lots of opportunities for students, lots of academia support, as well as industry partners. So it's a extremely well organized organization. At this point, it's a not-for-profit organization. It started as a grant, but it transformed to become a not-for-profit organization. So it's living on its own. It can support on its own because of the sponsors. So thanks to all the sponsors we have there. And that's pretty much it. If anybody has any questions to me, you can always reach me via email through your chapter leader or advisor.
Thank you, sir. It was a very informative talk, and we are very grateful that you're here despite the late hours in your place. So we are very excited to be a part of the WiCyS Student Chapter. Now, I would like to welcome the Vice Chancellor of VIT Bhopal University, Dr. P. Gunasekharan, to address us. Sir has 33 years of teaching and research experience in microbiology, biotechnology, and genomics. He served as the President of Biotechnology Research Society of India and the President of Association of Microbiologists of India. He is a recipient of Tamil Nadu Scientist Award, Algappa Centenary Excellence Award, Louis Pasteur Award, and Lifetime Achievement Award from the Indian Association of Applied Microbiologists and Biotechnology Research Society of India. So, we are very keen to hear your wise words.
Very good morning to all of you. Respected the guests from abroad, Mr. Vitaly Ford from USA, Ms. Genie Gan from Singapore, Ms. Satyavathi Divadari from India, and the Dean of Computing Science and Engineering and Divisional Chair for Cybersecurity and Digital Forensic, and all faculty members of VIT Bhopal, and my dear students. I hope all students are there. It's not only women, although the Society for Women, but we could invite all the students to attend this meeting because the society support the women.
Absolutely
Women
correct.
support the society.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah. So for the benefit of the people from abroad and from India, the experts, I would like to say that this university has been established in 2017 as a university, state university with a backing from VIT, Vellore. So now there are 4 institutions of VIT with the brand name VIT Vellore, VIT Chennai, VIT Bhopal, and VIT Amravati, Andhra Pradesh. And Bhopal is located in the central part of the country, so to cater the need of all the student community in India and abroad. So this VIT Bhopal, I can list out several accolades of VIT Vellore. The #1 position in ranking accreditation, NARF ranking, or you have the NAC accreditation, QS ranking, and there are many. So we have the legacy of establishing a university in the center part of the country with credentials of VIT. Now we are just entering into the 4th year of existence. And our VIT Bhopal is a unique feature. We sell the unique universal selling point, not unique selling point, USP. One of the things is we have all the faculty are doctorate, 100% doctoral faculty. And then second is we use a unique teaching learning platform, collaborative active learning through technology. So using a studio type of classrooms where you can do the activity as well as the lectures, practicals together. So third point, I was looking for this cell USP. I think it's going to be the cybersecurity is going to be a USP for our VIT Bhopal. That is why in VIT Bhopal, cybersecurity and digital forensic is the only division established. All other the school, apart from the schools, only division available in our university is a cybersecurity digital forensic. Not only that, the experts, Dr. Fishil Kumar Shandilia is well-known, renowned scientist in the field of cybersecurity and ACM distinguished speaker, one of the 20 Indian speakers from India, invited as a distinguished speaker. And we are all talking about women in cybersecurity. The program was established by our Assistant Vice President, Madam. She is a woman. So she is a forward-thinker, and she knows what it is important for the future. So what we call it is a future-ready courses. The cybersecurity and digital forensic is an evolving field, and there is a lot of opportunities. As Vitaly mentioned, there is an increasing the number of workforces in cybersecurity. Our Arusha also mentioned that now there is about 20% women in the cybersecurity. It's going to increase. So the cybersecurity digital forensic was established in our university by women, thanks to Ms. Kadambari S. Viswanathan, Assistant Vice President of VIT Bhopal, for establishing this unit. So in our campus. At the same time, I also thank our Chancellor, Dr. G.S. Viswanathan, and our Vice President, Shankar Viswanathan, and Trustee Madam, Ramani Balasundram, for giving me the opportunity to serve as a Vice Chancellor since the inception of this university. When I am talking about the association, it's all association of cybersecurity in women. I was running the Association of Microbiologists in India, where I was a president. I was also president of the Biotechnology Society of India, and I was a member of ASM, ASM's Association of Society for Microbiologists, and in American Society of Microbiology. And we had one unit of ASM chapter, student chapter, when I was working in Madurai Kamaraj University, and I was invited as the visiting professors under the ASM scholarship. Similarly, I think you are also going to have several scholarships for the students to visit abroad and to go to different places to learn the cybersecurity aspects. So when I was seeing that, the speakers, as young as cybersecurity field, and the members are also very young. So I was looking for who are all the top 10 cybersecurity in India women. I saw Satyavathi Divadari is the number 2 position. I think one is a Puneet Pashin, she was the number 1, and she is the number 2. I think it's a good sign that we are partnering with very eminent experts in cybersecurity, and we would like to see one of our students, women student, to reach your position, Madam Satyavathi. So I'd be very happy to be part of this cybersecurity in women students forum. I'm happy to participate in this meeting. And the second thing, I was looking at what is the population of our students in cybersecurity. So we started this program the second year only, 2018-19 only we started. The women say we can't, girl students I would say that not. rather women. So girl students population in the first admission was 28%. So it is in line with whatever the statistics you are giving. And the second year admissions, now they are in the second year. Now the first year admission, now they are in the third year. So first year, the third year admission is 28. The next admission is somewhere around 25 to 26%. So still we are in the same area. As many of you mentioned, that this amount, this kind of participation is slightly lesser than what is our expectation. Yes, I come from biotechnology background. If you see the admission in bioengineering or biotechnology, in bioengineering, our admission in the first year, we also started simultaneously when cybersecurity was started in 2018-19, and the admission percentage in bioengineering was 52%. 52% women of the total students, the first year admission. And the second year admission, the girl students in bioengineering is 62%. So the number is, it's very well known that in biology or biotechnology area, more women are participating. And similarly, in the cybersecurity also, there is an increase in trend that the more and more women population will be entering into the cybersecurity the area. I think this is a good sign, and we would also like to participate in the global level competition. So when we say that 20% of women workforce is there at the global level, we will also contribute to increase the number at least to 50% to match the women participation in the bioengineering or biotechnology. I will definitely support all the activities of the cybersecurity, digital forensic, and one of the important thing I would say that this is a program is going to give a future-ready jobs. So it may not be right now so many jobs, but future it depends on the cybersecurity, and the job security will be more in this area. So the package, I think what we are going to see, probably we are going to see the first time in the next year, our students are going to see the job market. We are going to see the first rank. In VIT, this year, the first CTS package, maximum package the students received is 44 lakhs per annum from VIT. I think our cybersecurity students, when they come for a placement, probably they will crack that the target. They will go for much higher than what the VIT Bangalore has shown, and VIT Bhopal will show the merit of the women's strength in the placement also. So I'm happy to participate in this in the inauguration. I wish them all and have a good learning from the leaders like Satyavathi Divadari. I mentioned especially Satyavathi Divadari is one of my students who was PhD student also with the name of Satyavathi. She is there in Malaysia. So that's what I was thinking, that maybe it is a Tamilian name. I suppose it's not. Okay. So this I thank you all, and thank the management for giving me the opportunity, and thank the dean and the divisional chair for inviting me to participate in this. And I wish all the best. Enjoy in this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you for your inspiring words, sir. We will try our best to reach to your expectations about women in cybersecurity and the cybersecurity division. Next, we have a short video introducing WiCyS.
About WiCyS. Women in Cybersecurity, aka WiCyS, is an initiative that addresses gender diversity. WiCyS helps to empower women who often feel isolated in the workplace by building a professional community that they can identify with. It does not exclude one gender group over another, but creates a more inclusive environment for the underrepresented ones. The WiCyS community brings together women who can empower each other and collectively help in recruitment, retention, and advancement of women in this field. Together, we can make a positive impact in the cybersecurity industry. Let's hear what WiCyS members have to say.
WiCyS is an amazing conference that I went to last semester. It was a conference for women in cybersecurity, and I've never seen a whole group of security people. It was really cool. The best part for me was definitely the talks. There was an amazing career fair, but I really wanted to spend most of my time in the sessions and the talks. There were so many women talking about the different new directions you can go in security and the challenges they faced and how they tackled it. It was an amazing experience, and it's a really intimate conference, if I should say, because it's kind of like a whole group of women sharing their experience, and also there were men who want to be potential allies. So when I saw the WiCyS booth over here, I just went ahead and registered also. So proud WiCyS member.
Hi, my name is Urja. As a person new to the cybersecurity scene, what I need the most right now are good learning resources and good mentors. WiCyS is giving me an opportunity to get these resources, learn new things and grow. So I'm very excited to be a part of the WiCyS Student Chapter here at VIT Bhopal.
WiCyS is an international community that has been recently established in VIT Bhopal University. It would give interesting internship opportunities, academic and co-curricular, in the best possible companies. There are exclusive learning resources and courses available free of cost to only the WiCyS members. There are secure coding competitions, webinars and interactions that would be definitely an add-on in your experience list. Thank you.
The WiCyS Student Chapter at VIT Bhopal will help us convene together our group of students in cybersecurity. It will help us provide support, mentorship, training, networking, and ample of opportunities and access to industry and academic leaders. This all will be at an international level and will give us a very good exposure to develop our profile and develop ourselves as an individual. We will also be able to undertake activities to promote the recruitment, retention, and advancement of women in cybersecurity. It will help us reduce the gender disparity in the field of cybersecurity. We are really glad to have a student chapter at VIT Bhopal.
So after this video, I would now like to introduce Ms. Genie Gan. Ms. Gan has diverse professional experiences. She started off as an accountancy graduate, following which she stepped into the limelight as a singer-songwriter and released 4 solo albums. She then pursued a postgraduate degree in law from the National University of Singapore. After working in private law for a while, she joined the Ministry of Law and entered the public sector. During her stint at the Ministry of Law, she represented Singapore in the United Nations General Assembly. At present, she is the Asia Pacific Head of Public Affairs and Government Relations at Kaspersky. She encourages young people to be open to new domains of work and believes that you must always remain curious and keep an open mind. A follower of the YOLO philosophy, it is her firm belief that you owe it to yourself to live your life to your best so that one day you can write your own story. Let's hear the words of this inspiring woman.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me, first of all, to attend this inaugural meeting of the Women in Cybersecurity Chapter in India. And of course, good morning to the women in the room, as well as the men in the meeting, because everyone is equally important. Men are equal, and men should be equal partners in women's empowerment, and women in cybersecurity cannot succeed without the men coming on board as well. And it's very heartening to see so many men in this meeting as well who are just speaking up and also, you know, talking about the importance of this. A little more about myself. I actually, yes, did start my journey in accountancy and in law with Big Four professional services firms. In my early 20s, I actually ran a relatively successful startup in services, music, and coaching industry, apart from being in the entertainment industry. And of course, later I spent a significant amount of my time in public service as a government lawyer, taking on various portfolios such as special aid to the Minister for Law, as well as Singapore delegate to the United Nations General Assembly and Director for Representation and Law Reform at the Law Society later on. So when I received the invitation to speak at this event, I knew I had to deconflict my schedule a little bit and try and make it, because I believe in the cause of advancement for women and hope to be able to cheer you on with my attendance and what I have to share. My journey in this area of work started in 2017, actually, actively in 2017, not too long ago. When I was based in the UN headquarters, taking on the role of Singapore delegate to the 72nd session of the United Nations General Assembly. And that year, I spoke rather strongly on the topic on advancement of women, which was an agenda item in the third committee of the United Nations General Assembly. And I remember I drew reference to the goal number 5 of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which reaffirms the centrality of gender equality and empowerment of women and girls to the achievement of sustainable development and poverty eradication, and for progress across all 17 Sustainable Development Goals. After my return to Singapore, I took on the position of Director of Law Reform at the Law Society, where I looked into and was responsible for women in practice and speaking up on all related issues on the opportunity as the opportunity arose. Now, in my current capacity, I hope to continue this conversation on this front from the cybersecurity sector, and I'm fortunate to have joined a very progressive global cybersecurity company which is supportive of women at all levels, and as well as the professional development of women in the workplace and in this industry, where a gender gap is well known. I think we all know, and especially at the ranks of senior level cybersecurity technologists. So, for example, in Kaspersky's great team, which is our highly selective and esteemed elite team of global researchers and analysts, we have Nushin Shabab as senior security researcher, who would tell you actually that to be successful in the industry, you need to add passion and persistence to your skill set. Not every day will be easy, but the results will be worth the challenges. But of course, you would have read contrasting facts and figures out there as well. So I think based on the 2019 Women in Cybersecurity report, it revealed that women now represent just 24% globally of the cybersecurity workforce. And in Asia-Pacific region, sadly, we fall way below that global average at just 10%, followed by 9% in Africa, 8% in Latin America, 7% in Europe, and 5% in Middle East. And Kaspersky did our own research as well. In a recent survey on women in cybersecurity, we found that most women in the US, in Europe, and in Israel rule out a career in cybersecurity by the age of 16. How many of you are above the age of 16 in this room? I suppose all, right? Yeah. So actually, we are among the fortunate ones who actually haven't dropped out of that option yet. But looking ahead, I am optimistic despite the current state of affairs. According to the cybersecurity benches, for example, there will be up to 3.5 million job openings by next year. So there's still a lot of opportunity to be tapped on, to be seized in the cybersecurity careers. And I also observe that the industry is becoming more enlightened. How so, right? I think people are coming to realize that the lack of women in cybersecurity leaves the cyber world at a much greater risk. According to an Ernst & Young report, my ex-employer was from EY at some time, in one of their recent reports, they have said that by 2028, women will control 75% of discretionary consumer spending worldwide. Security considerations like encryption, fraud detection, biometrics are becoming important in consumers' buying decisions. product designs require a trade-off between cybersecurity and usability, and so female cybersecurity professionals can make better informed decisions about such trade-offs for products that are targeted at female customers. So these mindset changes have led to many government initiatives to promote women in cybersecurity. An example that's closer to my home is where, as part of Singapore's efforts to build the cybersecurity talent pipeline, the Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore has worked with industry partners to develop the Singapore Cyber Women Initiative. I think you can find them on #SG Cyber Women. It is a targeted initiative to leverage on the underrepresented talent pool by encouraging more females from as young as pre-tertiary age, which is even below, which is probably from 17 to 19, to join the cybersecurity profession. And of course, we have come a long way since our grandmother's days, where women were inspired by, I'm not sure if how many in the room are familiar with Rosie the Riveter, basically an allegorical cultural icon of the World War II. And she represented the women who went out to work in factories back in the day, in shipyards during World War II, to basically replace the male workers who had to join the military during the war. So Rosie the Riveter was an inspirational icon for women in those days. And in the last many decades since the World War II, soon coming to a century now, the stereotypical societal pressures and expectations on young ladies have, of course, eased, right? Making our lives a little bit better. Our roles have also evolved and for the better. But I think perceptions will still remain in some quarters of society, sometimes not due to the fault of others, but sadly, by women themselves, of themselves. So I really want to just end my remarks with 3 quick pointers to give to the women in the room, if I may. First, I think you have to recognize that the sky really is the limit, right? But you determine your sky. So what is the cap that you place over yourself is determined by yourself, right? So sometimes women tend to place their own glass ceiling over their heads, which is sad. So what is that piece of sky in your mind? Is it just a cloud over your head? Or is it a vast, limitless sky of blue with a bright sun peeping over a cloud? Or might it be a sky that looks beyond and into the atmospheric realm and even to the universe? I think you make the choice, you decide. Secondly, I think Urja actually quoted what I said in one of the recent interviews I did for one of the non-profit organizations. Very good job doing the research there. Indeed, my tip would be to stay curious. So that interview was one that I agreed to by a youth-led non-profit organization where I shared that I live life curiously. That I work well under pressure and I thirst to learn. Whenever I find I've stopped learning on my job, I know I need to initiate a change. I take responsibility to better my growth opportunities for myself. But to adapt well to changes, one must be comfortable with the discomfort that comes with any change. And I therefore strongly advise students, young people, men and women alike, and especially the women actually, to put themselves out of their comfort zones and make that sacrifice, for that is where one can truly learn and understand one's strengths and weaknesses. So keep learning, keep on upskilling, and stay curious at all times. And finally, I would like to implore you to ask yourselves this question: what defines you? Think about your identity, and think about what your identity is built upon. Look beyond your gender, because I feel that our identity is not built upon gender, but upon expertise and the value that we bring to the table. And in order to succeed in cybersecurity, the person must possess technical knowledge of both cybersecurity and the business environment, have good communication skills, have the grit to overcome challenges, and all of which are not unique to any particular gender. So with that, I just want to thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you for highlighting the importance of women in the industry, in any industry, and your words have really inspired us. Now, I'm glad to introduce one of the trailblazers of women in cybersecurity in India, Ms. Satyavathi Divadari. She has been recently acknowledged as one of the top Indian women influencers in Security 2020. Ms. Satyavathi is also a certified threat intelligence analyst and at the Global Advisory Board, EC Council, and a mentor to women in Cybersecurity Board at ISSA Bangalore. She is an information security leader with more than 21 years of experience in banking, telecom, and ITES industries. She has formulated and led the execution of strategic enterprise-wide transformations and improved security posture with a higher return of investment. She is a noted speaker and panelist in the international and national forums. Our heartiest welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much for the kind words, Arushi, and also I am humbled with the words spoken by the Vice Chancellor that I am the second most popular. I don't know. I'm still not confident. Maybe I would be happy to hear that. Maybe in paper or something. I'll be great to hear that. Thank you for that. And I'm also honored to be here for being part of WiCyS inaugural chapter inauguration today. So maybe what I can do is let's start with something simple and something which we hear all the time, right? So when I'm joining this meeting, my son asked me, "Mom, why are you ready early in the morning?" I said, "You know what? So WiCyS is starting their student chapter in India, starting with VIT Bhopal." My younger son asks, "Why all these boards for women? Why not for men? Why only for girls? Why not boys?" So my answer to them and any others, right? So the point is, so when there are 100 men and one woman need to walk in, she will be happy and glad to have another girl or another woman, right? So minorities go in groups, and it is important to empower those who are minorities and give them more strength by supporting them, right? So we will not stop until we have 50% of women on the boards. What that means is in the leadership, not in the industry, but the leadership level, 50% seats should be filled by women. I wish that will happen maybe in the generation of my granddaughters, probably not now, but I hope to see that, because what is happening or what we see generally is in schools, we went to schools, right? You know that seats are filled 50% by women or girl childs are there, and then they are the toppers in the school, right? So where are they going? But when you go to the colleges, only 30% are women or girls. What happened to that 20%? Where they went? And then that 20% of those students in the colleges become much leaner when they come to office or professional life. Becomes 20% or 25% in the professional career. And then it goes thinner and thinner when it moves up to the ladder of leadership. The leadership layer is much thinner, and we are more lonely on the leadership layer. Genie, my technology, and even the professors there might acknowledge that we are the few people. So if we go to a conference, only few ladies out there, right? One or two. And when you go to the party in the bar, I think it's only one girl or one lady sitting in the corner, figuring out what do we do with this club, So these kind of initiatives like WiCyS and many others are very important to build the base, support the women, and give them the opportunities and chances they actually are apprehended against. As Jen said earlier, it's all about our own perception of ourselves and our own vision of glass ceiling. The reason why women think that way, just I'll give you a perception mainly in the Indian perspective, right? So think about this, right? You see 100, I'm just giving a abrupt number, just imagine that. There are 100 men sitting in that room. You are the only girl walking, and you need to make your point. When will you be confident to make your point or raise your hand? Only when you are sufficiently knowledge, and you have that, what you can say, point of talk, then only you will raise your hand. Otherwise, you will prefer to be silent because you are already the odd one out, right? You're worried to open your mouth. So this is what we were facing, but that is not the case for you. At least the number is 20%. So out of the 100, there are 20 women there to support you, right? But still, the analyst says this, right? So when there is a job openings, right? How men see that application and how women see it. The men apply immediately when they see 3 or 4 skills they are good at, and they go ahead and apply. Whereas women, they got 8 picked, but they are still not applying because they are not confident because the other 2 are not filled in. It is not the, I'm not making this up, this is the true analyst story. That is the level of confidence women have today. So why we think that way is because we are still not confident unless we do 100%. Whereas men are going faster and faster. And this happens not just in the college, but in the office scenarios. When there is a promotion or internal promotion or internal job opportunity, people don't apply. Women don't apply. So we do internal working groups for women to encourage that girls, you do have that skill. Why are you saying you do not have it? Then they give their own rationale. You know what? I'm not good at this. Whereas they're not seeing what they have, right? So that is where the perception changes. I think that is something which I recommend every woman to think about and work on, right? So coming to I think each one of you has spoken about jobs in cybersecurity, right? So why cybersecurity? Why anyone should pick cybersecurity? My recommendation to you, not just you, but your upcoming generation, your juniors and your sisters and brothers, right? Speak about this one. So industry is going towards industrial 4.0. What that means? That means automation. That means IoT. That means cloud computing. That means autonomous systems, right? All these systems require kind of security around it, because data is the new wealth, new oil. You might have heard it already, right? The data is the new oil, everybody is mining. The mining agents are like, sorry to take the names, but Amazons, Facebooks, and others, right? What they do is take the data and mine it and use it and bring behaviors like the ones Jenny said about the customer behaviors, customer purchase behaviors. They're all driven from the data. You understand that? So when data become wealth, so what happens? The thieves are attacking the data. That is the money. That is the wealth. So how they are attacking? Through the cyber. That's the reason the jobs are increasing. If somebody says 3.5 million jobs, another person from mechanical would say, why, man? It's not that case. You're just exaggerating. Just explain this. Tell that this is the reason why the jobs are increasing, because the data is getting more and more important, and that's why the attackers and advisories or adversaries are attacking this segment, and that's why the type of threats are increasing. That's one way of seeing. Second is, today we would have actually met in your office or VIT Bhopal and inaugurated it. What we are doing now actually is meeting through a webinar, which is a digital medium, correct? So when we are doing a digital medium, the data is digital, the video is digital, and then whatever the content you are doing is all digitalized, right? So this is bringing additional dimension for cybersecurity. So hospitality, the education, and then banking, as well as health. Everybody is working on digital platforms now. So that means more jobs for security, because you need to go and secure them. And the principles around it is not about penetration testing or doing hacking the boxes. It is more towards how do we build the security controls within this digital era. So think in that angle. Just don't stop yourself thinking like, okay, how can I do this hacking or this penetration testing? Thinking that you should be a cybersecurity engineer How do I architect a better secure solution? How do I build the controls within the technology? So those are the dimensions at which I recommend the young generation to think towards. That doesn't mean you should stop doing whatever you're doing in penetration testing or CTS, etc. But that's the way I recommend you to do. Right. So we already spoke about why cybersecurity, and then why women. These are the two topics we just spoke about. And next question comes, right? Okay, I know you are a seasonal person. You already got a job. You can say many things. Me as a student, how can I reach there? What should I do to reach there where you are, or any person there, right? So there are different mechanisms you can create. So first thing is you have to choose your career, as Jenny said. You have to choose your target and choose your goal where you want to be, right? So that is when you will be clear. I'll give you a story about this. So I was working in a telecom company called VSNL. Today it's called Tata Communications Limited, where I was working in technology segment, right? So I was handling the data security or network as well as systems, almost everything in the technology area, because at that time we do not have the specializations. Right? Same person who is speaking the call has to go ahead and do the changes on the routers and the network, go to the systems and do the administration jobs and change the backup tape, as well as address the customer problems. We do not have so many divisions. So because of that expertise at that time, I got wide knowledge across. So that is the time I chose in cybersecurity, or at that time it is called information security, because it cuts across horizontally, right? It is having peace everywhere. So that is the time I chosen. You know what people said at that time, 2004, which is 18 years back, right? So 18 years back, there is nothing called information security. It's part of the quality groups. Quality groups are where people go and like a boring lecture, right? That happens in the official scenario also. People don't care about quality. It's part of the work. So that is the time I chose information security. The reason because this is the only or this is the one of the sector where you need to be up to date every day. What does it mean? You need to be, as Jenny said earlier, you need to be curious every day and every minute, because threats are coming. There are multiple methods of attacks are coming, multiple ways in which the exploitations keep coming. Unless you have a passion to learn every day, do not choose cybersecurity, right? That's one thing you need to be very careful about. If you are choosing a cybersecurity, be prepared to study almost every day in your life, right? So you are choosing a profession not because there are jobs. You are choosing a profession because you are a continuous learner. You want to be up to date. You want to address the problems the industry is facing, and you are here to make a difference. So that is when you choose cybersecurity. So that is a separation you need to make. Why cybersecurity is when you will choose it, right? Once you choose it, cybersecurity as a profession, there are multiple paths to it, right? You can be an analyst, starting with a penetration tester or an ethical hacker, etc. Or you can be a cybersecurity engineer, again, starting with a system engineer or a network engineer and move there. And then you can be an auditor, you can do conduct assessments, etc. Or you can be an architect, model the designs around it, and then slowly you grow into these positions at a senior level. Right? So that is the path. So how do you start at the basics from your in the college? There are various means and methods. You can go through courses available online. There are a lot of free courses available through the Coursera and many other methods. And also get some mentors. I think that's one thing very important. And then build some projects. I know you might have heard this many times. Okay, I know that people speak about projects. Who will give us projects, right? So if you do not get project, my recommendation is go through freelancer. There are freelancer world, which is currently wide open. And then there is something called crowdsourcing. Pick some project and do it, right? And partner with your seniors, partner with your with people who just left your college. They might be working somewhere. They are ready to help you out. That's the first place to start with. Just don't think about the distant colleagues, but just think about those people who already you know, right? That's the way place to start. And then key thing for all this, whatever I spoke about, is about having a clear vision about yourself, right? So being a woman, there are a lot of places you come to this place of folk, right? You have to decide, shall I do this or shall I not do this, right? You come to this. It's often same for men as well. The reason I'm specific women is because you just want to stop your career because you're just getting married or you're having a baby, or you want to spend time with your son, or sorry, it's too early to speak about, but that's the future. So you want to just change it because you want to stop the career because you want to take some other choice of life or life's choices, right? So when you are making that decision, be conscious, and you are the one taking the decision. Do not blame it on anybody. You know what? My mother told me, my father told me, that is not going to work in the long term, right? There is one of my colleagues used to keep on telling me, but because my son, I taken a five-year break, I'm not getting any future now. Please never use that word before your son because he never trusts you. The reason is you have taken that choice. The baby do not have anything to say, right? And you have taken a choice to get married and do not do go into the career. Do not blame it on your in-laws or your husband, right? So these are the kind of things you will come across in the future. But when you come to that take a choice, conscious choice by yourself. That's your choice, your life, your sky, and your own career and your own goals, right? Have that clarity. And then when you are picking, I still tell you again and again that do not pick a job because there are positions available. Pick a choice because of the qualities the job is demanding, right? So that is when you will be successful. With that, I close. I'm really happy to be here and glad to be on the board if you like. So happy to be an advisor if you need me. So with that, thank you very much, and all the best for your WiCyS group. And I wish all the women here and girls here to be on the boards today or tomorrow. Not today, but for sure in years and course of time. I want to see there and fill the gap of that. As I said, 50% on the board.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for showing us the big picture of cybersecurity and all the future possibilities. And now I call upon the enthusiastic president of VIT Student Chapter VIT Bhopal, Ms. Bhavna Yadav.
Good morning to all. WiCyS is not just any student chapter. It is a community of like-minded people across the world connected with a single string. I still remember the very first event I attended was Security-Free Enemies, red and blue boosting each other. WiCyS organized this in collaboration with Google ethical hackers. The event was so motivating and informative that WiCyS was no more just an organization to me. But after more consecutive events, it got me hooked. It brought global CTFs, Secure Code, and similarly many other tournaments, which provided me the recognition on the international platform and cool prize money. When I shared all of my experiences with Shishasha about the wide opportunities WiCyS had to offer, we decided to bring these opportunities to the student of VIT Bhopal, which eventually became the very first chapter of India to collaborate with the WiCyS. But let me tell you something purely. Out of my experience, WiCyS is not just about the competitions and internship, but one thing which I find the most special about it is the people you will meet during these events. Listening to them, you can actually feel motivated to learn more about their journey. You can relate yourself to them, like how they tackle the problems in their life, directions going to cybersecurity. WiCyS is not about discriminating women over men, but to establish a more inclusive environment for everyone, aiming to balance the gender ratio at the workspace. So after my 6 months of hardship in establishing the student chapter, finally we are here at the grand inauguration of WiCyS VIT Bhopal student chapter. I welcome all the members of the chapter on board, and together we can make it a great success, encouraging more and more people to take up cybersecurity as a career and helping each other develop personally as well as professionally. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavna, for sharing your personal experiences working with WiCyS so far. And we're very excited to be a part of the same experiences that you have so far with WiCyS. I now invite the faculty coordinator of the WiCyS Student Chapter of VIT Bhopal, Dr. Kanchanlata Krishnap, to give a vote of thanks.
Sorry. Cybersecurity needs women to be successful, and without them, it will not be as the best talent a must. Quoted by Ian Andrew with this beautiful quote. A very good morning to present over here. It's my privilege to propose vote of thanks on behalf of School of Computing Science and Engineering, VIT Bhopal. A big thank and special, a big and special thanks to our respected AVP ma'am for constant support, guidance, and encouragement to organize this event. Our sincere gratitude to Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, who has given his precious time for us and graced this occasion with his presence and his motivating words and his blessings. I would like to express my deep regards and gratitude to Dr. Whitley for providing us the opportunity to start WiCyS Student Chapter in our university, our university VIT Bhopal. So surely our all students will get benefited in terms of, not only in terms of job and internship, but in terms of other exposures also. I express my sincere thanks to Ms. Genie to accept our invitation on short notice and deliver valuable inputs on the role and importance of women in cybersecurity. Thank you, ma'am, for motivating and encouraging words. I would like to further extend my hearty thanks to Ms. Satyavathi Divadari for thought-provoking insights in the role of women in cybersecurity and importance of cybersecurity. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Dean Sir and Shishir Sir to mentoring us and to guide us to take initiative and to start WiCyS chapter in VIT Bhopal. Last but not least, my deep sense of appreciation and thanks to all students coordinators, Bhavna Yadav. It's a result of her hard work and all student member of WiCyS Women chapter of this university, and their creativity and their support and their participation to make this event successful. So I wish and congratulate to all student members and all faculties of VIT University Bhopal. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words. The time has come to draw a curtain to our event as we come to its end. I express my deep gratitude towards all the guests and speakers for their valuable presence. I also thank all the faculty members and student coordinators for their efforts and hard work to make this event a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayush. And thank you, all the members, particularly the guests, to be here. It's an honor to host you today, and looking forward to more cooperations from your side. As ma'am has pointed out, we'll definitely extend our interest to have you on board as the external mentor. And Ginny, ma'am, your views are really, I think it will be one of the guiding speech I hope my students will take forward. And we both, both in a sense, I'm taking over the faculty and the student together will make sure that we live to your expectations. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Good.
Keep in touch.